So I understand that you have very specific questions, and I want to be able to serve you and help you to the best of my ability. So I'm gonna do things a little bit different, where if you DM me on Instagram, I'm gonna either create a video about your specific question, or I'm gonna answer it. I'm gonna try things a little bit different. I'm gonna answer it on Fridays, all right? So if you have questions, just hit me up on Instagram, and I'm gonna take them questions and answer it, all right? So the first question is, my credit score is at a 757. How can I get business funding? Now, I'm assuming that you're already in business. So what you want to do first is create relationships with specific banks, all right? If you already have a bank, I would just suggest you go get funding from that specific bank already. But there are multiple banks that only pull from Experian. There are multiple banks that only pull from TransUnion, and there are multiple banks that only pull from Equifax. To maximize on getting funding, you want to be able to go get funding from banks that only pull from Experian, or TransUnion or Equifax, and of course some do pull from 2 out of the 3, or some pull from all 3 of them. However, here are some banks that you can go to right now and get funding, all right? But I would suggest you create a relationship with them first, open up a bank account, put some money in there, and then of course go get the bag, all right? Now, let me tell you some of the banks that only pull from, let's just start with Equifax, all right? So we have Digital Credit Union, National Research Lab Federal Credit Union, SEC U of Maryland, NIHFCU, Signal Federal Credit Union, SkyPoint Federal Credit Union, Age Fed Credit Union, Ontario Federal Credit Union, Penn Fed Credit Union, Justice Federal Credit Union, Chevron Federal Credit Union, Langley Federal Credit Union, AOD Federal Credit Union, Hancock Whitney Bank, Truist, and of course, there are other places, like sometimes, depending on your location, Chase might pull, or US Bank also pulls from. Now, depending on your location, they might pull from either TransUnion or Equifax, right? Now, here are some banks that only pull from just TransUnion, right? Now, for TransUnion, we have, of course, Navy Federal, Barclays, Alliant Credit Union, Rangers Bank, Lake Michigan, Apple Federal Credit Union, Tower Federal Credit Union, TrueMark Financial Credit Union, Corporate American Family Credit Union, Apple, New Horizon Credit Union, and BMO Harrison Bank also pulls from TransUnion, all right? Now, here are some banks, and that was just 12 banks, and I gave you a list of, I think, 15 banks from Equifax. And here's some banks that only pull from Experian, all right? I got you. I want to be able to give you the best information, the best knowledge when it comes to banks that only pull from specific credit bureaus, all right? So First Tech Federal Credit Union pulls from Experian, all right? Chase, Bank of America, PNC, PSECU, Andrews Federal Credit Union, State Department Federal Credit Union, Affinity Federal Credit Union, Redstone Federal Credit Union, NASA Federal Credit Union, Unity Financial Federal Credit Union, American Heritage Federal Credit Union, and United Nations Federal Credit Union. And of course, we have Amex and of course, Citibank, all right? So that's like a list of 15. So now you have all these different banks, and what you wanna do is just, if you don't know for sure, you wanna lock up your credit profile on, let's just say you trying to get banks that only pull from Experian, lock up your TransUnion and your Equifax, and then just go to those specific banks and get funded, and then do the other 2, let's just say TransUnion and Experian, and get banks that only pull from Equifax, so they don't pull the other 2, and just keep on doing vice versa. That's how you want to maximize on how to get funded, all right? Now, the next question that we got is from a person asking about, how do I build credit if I have no credit? The first thing I will tell anybody, if they have no credit or they're trying to build credit, is first establish a new relationship with a new bank, all right? Especially a credit union. So go look in your area and go find a credit union, all right? Now, once you go to a credit union, what you want to do is ask specific questions, get to know more things they have. But of course, open up a checking account and savings account and start creating a relationship with that bank, all right? Start putting money, start putting deposits, start doing certain things so you can build up that history with that specific bank. And most importantly, you can also check out to see if they have either a secure credit card or a secure loan. Most of the time they don't do a credit check, but you can also ask the question. But most of the time they don't do, especially for a secured loan. And then of course, pay that back over time, and you built up that relationship. But I also would tell you is if you're currently renting, you can start reporting your rent so you don't have to take out debt or anything like that. You're already currently renting, so you might as well go ahead and get that reported to all 3 credit bureaus, all right? And also you can do utilities as well. So if you've been living at the apartment or whatever the case may be, you can start reporting your utilities to the credit bureaus, all right? And I'll have these specific links for you for these credit building places. So first and foremost, go ahead and create a relationship with the bank and then start reporting utility, rent payments, just certain things so you don't have to go get in debt to start building credit, all right? These are the stuff that you're already paying for, so you might as well go ahead and get it reported to the credit bureaus. And then once you manage and you know how to manage your money, manage your debt, then if you need credit, like a credit card or a business credit card, if you're in business and things like that, then you go get it, all right? Now, the next question we got is, what does my credit profile needs to look like to get access to $100,000 in funding? All right, so your credit profile, it all depends, but just, you know, in general, like you wanna have a lot, I can say a lot of credit. You wanna have multiple accounts on your credit profile. The reason why is because if a lender looks at your credit profile and they see that you only have 2 accounts, they're gonna like, am I gonna give this person a $10,000 and $20,000 credit card if they can't manage $2,000 to $3,000? All right. So what I would tell you first is build up your credit profile to have multiple accounts. All right. You want to have a mix of credit. All right. You want to have revolving accounts and you want to have installment accounts. All right. You want to have revolving accounts consist of your credit cards, charge cards, line of credit. Those are revolving accounts, and your installment accounts is auto loan, student loan, personal loan. Those are considered installment accounts. All right. And if you have a very close family member that will add you as an authorized user, like they have amazing credit, like getting that age added to your credit profile will help tremendously. All right. Also, if you're currently renting and you've been living at that apartment, you can get that added to your credit profile and boost up your age as well. All right. So you want to have at least 2 years, but 5 years or better is what you want to have. Of course, you want to have 0% utilization, no late payments, because that's going to stop you from getting funding. And you don't want to have no inquiries within the last 6 months. All right. And you don't want to have no new accounts within the last 6 months, because it's going to be hard for a lender to trust you to actually give you funding. All right. So what you want to do is build up your credit profile where you let it sit, let it age for a while, for about 6 to 12 months. And then you go, like I showed that person earlier, go get access to funding, and then you ask for a credit limit increase over time and continue asking for that. And then eventually you'll have your access to 100K in funding. All right. Now, the next question I got is, I want to start a Turo business. How can I leverage my credit to get started? All right. So if you want to start a car rental business, first, what I would tell you to do is, if you haven't done it already, put your car on Turo to see if you actually like it. All right, just try it out for a month, see if you like it, see if you want to do this business first before I tell you to go get access or go get funding for cars. All right, so first do that. Now, if you like the business, if you want to do it, you're passionate about it, then what you want to do is, like I said, there are banks that pull from specific credit unions, all right? And you can get access to funding, all right? Also, I forgot, for that last question, you do want to have a 750 plus credit score, or 740 plus credit score. All right, that's what your credit profile, forgot about that part. All right, so you want to have at least a 740 plus credit score to get access to that 100K. But for this question, to get funding for your Turo business, start with the first bank that you're actually with. All right, go apply for a loan, a car loan, or if you have cash, go $5,000-$10,000 can get you a car, economy car, and then go get that economy car and then put it on Turo and start making money. And then once you start making money for it and you like it and things like that, then go to the local credit union where they give you amazing interest rate if you have an amazing credit score. then go get a loan for $10,000, $20,000, go get you a car, and then from there continue doing that over and over and over, and then eventually you'll have a fleet of cars. Just like we helped my friend Tim, and I think he has about 15 cars now. He's in Tampa, Florida. I'll put his information in the description, but yeah. And my friend Kurt, he also has, but he's not on Turo. He has his cars off the platform, so he does his things a little bit different. He got the information where now he don't need Turo to actually run his business. So you'll get to that point. So that's what I would tell you to do first if you want to start a Turo business. And it's an amazing business as well, very lucrative depending on your area, but economy cars work everywhere, all right? So the next question I got is, can I remove student loans from my credit report? Whew, that's a good question. Yes, you can remove student loans from your credit report. I think that was my very first video on this channel, because a lot of people said that it wasn't possible to remove student loans from a credit report. And I'll show a whole bunch of screenshots of student loans getting deleted from a credit report, all right? Now, even though your student loans get removed from your credit report, doesn't mean you don't owe the money. I think a lot of people get this messed up, all right? So you got the student loans removed from your credit report. It doesn't mean you don't owe the student loans, all right? You still have to pay them back, all right? Unless you get it forgiven or whatever the case may be, but you still have to pay them back. So what you wanna do is, after you remove it or whatever the case may be, hey, give them a call, set up some type of payment plan where you pay it back, and then, whatever that looks like, all right? But yes, you can get your student loans removed from your credit report. The reason why is because it's based off of once you understand specific laws, and one of the laws is Experian, I'm gonna say consumer reporting agencies, which is Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, have to assure maximum possible accuracy, all right? And you can read that law on 15 USC 1681 EB, all right? So, but if you look at your report, a tri-merge report, you will see that Experian, TransUnion, Equifax have different information on all three credit bureaus, all right? The open date last active, payment history, a lot of stuff might be incorrect on your credit report. So that's the reason why you can leverage that specific law and get it removed. But even though it's removed, like I said before, you still have to pay them back. So yes, you can get it removed from your credit report by just leveraging the laws and continue being diligent and continue going after the credit bureaus to get it removed from your report, all right? So the next question I got is, how can I get a $10,000 credit card, all right? Now, I'm assuming that you're trying to get that on a personal side. So here's what you want to do. I'm gonna say this over and over. Go create a relationship with the credit union, all right? Go walk inside the bank and go talk to them. Most of the time, you're gonna be talking to the branch manager or one of those managers, all right? Now, create a relationship, talk, have communication, be you. But just ask questions. Ask about the different type of products they have. Ask about the loan programs. Ask about everything, a house program. Just ask questions so, you can get information. But once you create a relationship, you want to make sure your credit score is at least above a 720. Start putting money in the savings account. Start doing certain things, all right? But you want to make sure you have no collections, nothing derogatory on your credit profile, no inquiries within the last 6 months, and then apply for a credit card, all right? Get the credit card that give you points. Now, once you apply for a credit card, you might get approved for only $3,000, $5,000, $7,000, but 3 months, 6 months from now, just ask for an increase, and then eventually you'll get your $10,000 credit card, all right? Now, I understand it's gonna take a little bit of time, but hey, we ain't no rush. It's gonna eventually happen. So that's how you're gonna get your $10,000 credit card, all right? Now, I also get this question a lot is, how can I get a tri-merge credit report, all right? Now, there are many places you can get, but hey, Identity IQ sponsored it. So you wanna go to Identity IQ, and then you get your tri-merge report where you can see Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. You can see your account and the information within the specific account, where you can see the open date last active, the balance, the account number, and all the information that you need to fix your credit, all right? Because that's a lot of information that you can leverage to actually get account removed from your credit report, all right? And you just want to leverage the law, which is 15 USC 1681. Now, the last question I got is for now is, does your process still work? Yes, it still works, but It just takes time, all right? Nothing you want in life comes when you want it, but eventually you reap what you sow. So what I would tell everybody, when it comes to fixing credit, there is no special date where it's gonna come off, or 6 months from now, or 3 months, 2 months. Sometimes you might get everything removed in 14 days. Sometimes it might take a year and a half. Sometimes it might take 3 months, 4 months. Nobody knows when it comes to credit, all right? But if you put in the work and you continue disputing month after month, then eventually you're gonna start seeing your results, and make sure you pay down your debt and do the things that are required. But if Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax continue to play crazy, because I understand they play crazy, that's the reason why we have that program, where we have our litigation program, where, hey, no more going back and forth with the credit bureaus. Get these violations and knock them out. So if that's something you want to do, hey, the link is in the description. But if you just want to continue, going back and forth, creating the letters and getting things removed, of course I have that as well. And also I am coming out with a software. I do have a software. Hey, it's going to be good. All right. So you can also leverage the software to actually help the process of disputing as well. All right. So thank you. Drop your questions in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram for sure. And then take your questions and answer them. All right. Thank you. And I'll see you next video.